In everyday's life, there is custom that we need to follow, such as we need to do this or that, avoid this, avoid that, and so on, so that our life is not messed up and keep going on without a lot of problems. Without realizing it, customs became the law of our ordinary life, and of course, law have already become a part of our life. Humans need law to control themselves, so everything can be regulated and organized. Law also applies in every single action that happens on our activity. For example, on your daily basics of trading needs, buying and selling items need to be enforced by law. Because if there is no law, everything will be plunged into chaos. On November 13, 1891, Crumbling Smoke Ball Company published an advertisement about a product called Smoke Ball on Pall Mall Gazette and other newspaper. They claim that they will pay a ransom of £100 to any person who contracts the increasing epidemic influenza, colds, or any disease caused by taking cold after having used the ball 3 times daily for 2 weeks according to the printed directions supplied with each ball. A lady named Carla saw this advertisement and tried to do the action based on the offer, and because of this, she accepted an unilateral offer, and thus it became an agreement between the two parties. So the contract was made, and you can guess it, after using it as a prescription, nothing changed from Carla, and she sued the company for the promise that they owed, but the company refuses. So there's a trial, and the case was won by Carla.
From the Carlyle case, even matters like offer, agreement, and contract could plunge into chaos if there's no law to enforce it. So we will explain the definition, function, and implementation of law of contract on our daily life. Contract law is the legal body that encompasses both the origination, enforcement, and ultimate enactment of all legal contracts or agreements. All those who engage in business transactions at some point or another engage in contract law. Companies and consumers alike use contracts in their everyday actions. Law of contract was made to help a lot of parties that are involved so that it can help them to avoid misunderstanding and make their contract enforceable by law. For example, in Malaysia, the 1950 Contract Act were implemented. This Malaysian Contract Act sets out the legislative framework governing contracts in Malaysia. It consists of 191 sections divided into 10 parts.
Every single thing in life needed a principle, because principle is like a basic of everything. Such as doing this, you need some specific principle so it didn't get out of hands. This also implied on law of contract, which allowed us to implement the law more easier on our daily life. The basic elements required for the agreement to be a legally enforceable contract are mutual assent expressed by a valid offer and acceptance, adequate consideration, capacity, and legality, where we all take 3 of it, explain it, and how it can be implemented in daily life.
Over is a promise to do or refrain from doing something in exchange for something else. An over must be stated and delivered in a way that would lead a reasonable person to expect a binding contract to arise from its acceptance. We always do an over on our daily basic. Even giving a hand to other people is an expression to offering a help to another person. But the major differences between over on our daily schedule and in contract is for daily life we expect nothing, but in a contract we expect something in return.
The act of accepting something or someone, the fact of being accepted in the context of contracts. Acceptance refers to one person's compliance with the terms of an offer made by another. Acceptance is judged objectively but can either be expressly stated or implied by the offeror's conduct. In daily life, we often facing an acceptance in a situation where it's complicated, like when someone are confessing their feeling to you. Thus, there will be 2 answers for that, either it's acceptance or rejection.
Consideration or careful thought is something that needs to be thought over carefully before deciding or acting to avoid something reckless. This is the most often principle that we use in daily life because humans have instinct to avoid a mistake. For example, Hanif is agreed to buy a car with a careful consideration so that he didn't regret his decision in the future.
So, that's all for our short explanation about the concept of law of contract. Even the principle of the law are applicable, and without our consciousness, we already implemented it in our daily life. So, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.